The David Dean Show, your weekly look at Valdosta State University Blazer football. Here's your host, Dick Rocky, along with head coach David Dean, for a look at this week's Blazer football action.
Hello and welcome to the David Dean Show. I'm Dick Rocky with the head coach. This is a special edition of the David Dean Show. The Blazers did not play this past Saturday, the off week. Got some really neat things we think for you to look at. We're going to take a look at season highlights. Coach Dean will make some comments on those. We'll go into looking at the 13 seniors who have been at Valdosta State for 4 years, or for not all 4 years, but some less than that. And then we'll finish up with a look at the region rankings, and then we'll go in and take a look at the North Alabama game. So all that to come in this special edition of the David Dean Show. We'll be back in a moment with the season highlights.
I love learning.
I believe in service. I am full of passion.
I embody sportsmanship.
I trust in my resourcefulness.
I like balance.
That's why I chose
Division II.
Coach, you heard me mention a sort of a special edition, we'll call it today, of the highlights of the season, seniors, etc. But we're going to go into the highlights. We're going to let you make some comments as you do each and every week. But it's interesting to look back at some of the early highlights of the season and see some of the things that the kids did as we go and progress into the season. And we'll enjoy hearing your comments on those things.
Well, hopefully I'll remember a lot of those. There's been a lot of highlights, a lot of lowlights in the season, but it's been a fun season so far. We got one more, and we'll take a look at them, and hopefully it'll be some bright spots that we remember.
All right, let's take a look, see.
This is our first touchdown of the year. Austin Roberts on the little zone read, and then this was a big play in the ball game against Wingate, throwing deep to Quinn Robertson for a touchdown that gave us a lead there, and big play here on a missed field goal attempt that they have that we sack them, and that was Alex Webster that made a big play. Then he comes right back and makes an interception right there at the 1 yard line. And this was this is the first overtime that we score on, and then this is the second overtime after our defense has held them, and Austin Roberts breaks it for 25 yards. It gives us the game winner. And big play right here by Ryan Smith on an interception, and Matt Pierce's first touchdown of the year. Picked up on a fumble on a 4th and short and races into the end zone with all the black shirts leading him down the field. This was a huge play in the ball game right here. We needed field position, hadn't had it the whole game, and we got more out of it than we expected. With Quinn making a great catch, running in traffic and returning the touchdown. And then he comes back here in the fourth quarter and makes a huge catch and outruns their defense in for a touchdown. Quinn played a great ball game there against Newberry, and this is the interception by Chris Pope that seals the game against Newberry and lets us run the clock out. We go the next week to Albany State. This is the end of our first drive. Great run there by David Bailey. Good physical running, breaking tackles. And then big play here early in the third quarter. They had made a charge back, and this kind of separated us right here. The throw to Shontavius Jones, and this seals the game right here. The deep throw that they're trying to get back in, and Harrison Dreiling makes a great read, gets over there and picks off the pass and deserves the win there against Albany State. Great throw right here to Trey Herndon there for a touchdown. This is against Southern Arkansas, and this is David Bailey's 60-yard touchdown run he had. Broke about 5 or 6 tackles on that run, and here's Matt Pierce, another big play by him on the interception, and then great throw here to Griffin Riley, great read. Out in the flat, he makes the catch there for the touchdown. And Troy Braswell's first touchdown here. Not the way you draw it up, but it worked out good. He makes a big play. Here's an interception against Chris Gaspari's interception against Monticello. And here's the safety that we made against Ouachita Baptist. Great defensive play. Big play here by Caden and Quinn Robertson. On the throw here, he scrambles out, makes a big throw on third down to keep a drive alive, and we end up scoring at the end of that. And then what a great catch here by Shontavius Jones, going up over the defender and making the big catch. Big sack here by Lawrence Virgil, forcing a fumble. The very next snap, we come back and throw the post route to Quinn for a touchdown. And We start to separate ourselves. Great throw here on the post route to Shontavious Jones. This was a game that Caden really played well. Here's the first drive of the West Alabama game. Scott Fambrough gets his first college touchdown off a throw from Reggie Lewis on a throwback. Big interception here early in the game. Again, that's Ryan Smith making the big interception down there in the red zone. And then here's Matt Pierce's second touchdown of the year. Pick off right in between two defenders and picks up a great block there by Timon Hudson, takes it into the end zone. And then here's one in the fourth quarter that wins the ball game for us. His second interception on the day and second touchdown and third on the season. Really proud of Matt, the way he's played this year. We go to Delta State. Great throw here again to Shontavious Jones on the deep route. Little fade route there, great throw. And then corner blitz. Great play there by Alex Webster. Gets knocked down, gets back up. Tevin Davis picks it up and runs it in the end zone. That gives us a 14-13 lead at that time. Then here was the one that separated us up, gave us an 11-point lead there in the third quarter. Caden on the zone read. This is a big run right here that set us up late in the ball game for a go-ahead touchdown. Great run right there, and we end up scoring off of that. And then this is, again, Caden Cochran scoring the first touchdown there against West Georgia. Late in the ball game here, we make a big interception. Again, that's Harrison Dryling. Does a great job there surveying the end zone back there. And then true freshman here, Troy Braswell from Lowndes, makes a big run off the goal line and gave us, this was the go-ahead drive touchdown that we get. And here's the throw into the end zone for the touchdown that gave us the lead there with about 6 minutes to go in the game. And thought we were going to have that one won right there, and unfortunately we gave up a touchdown drive.
Coach, great job. I know you're out of breath right now, but it's amazing. I said before we did this, you know every one of these plays, and you said, yeah, but it's amazing that all coaches do that.
Yeah, you remember a lot of plays throughout the season. You remember the good plays as well as the bad plays. Unfortunately, a lot of times the bad plays stick in your head a little bit more than the good plays.
All right, appreciate that very much, and we'll be back and take a look at the 13 seniors on this Valdosta State football team in just a moment.
In each of us, there is a hero, a champion, a legend waiting to happen. This is no ordinary museum. The College Football Hall of Fame in South Bend, Indiana.
All right, Coach, we're going to take a look at your seniors. You corrected me, just like your football players. It's 12 seniors, not 13, and that's Sean Reed's fault because he has a senior who's not a senior on his roster, so I'm going to blame Sean on that. But I'm just going to let you go with these 12 guys. And the neat thing about this to me, half of those, at least half of them, are 4-year players at Valdosta State. So go for it.
Well, first one we want to talk about is Trey Herndon, number 12, our wide receiver, transferred in. He's a graduate student, transferred in from Vanderbilt University. He played at Bowles High School. Really excited to have him here. He's been a huge factor in our offense this year. Really excited to have him. Larry Bryant from Tifton, Georgia. We signed him out of Reedley Community College out in California. Has been a huge impact for the last 2 years on our defensive line. Just saw in the highlights Harrison Dryling, what all Harrison has done for this program. 6 interceptions last year. I think he's got 3 this year. Just came off a 14-tackle game against West Georgia. He's from Augusta, Kansas. We signed him out of Butler Community College. He's been a great player in our secondary. Scott Fambrough. Scott is another guy that transferred in from Coastal Carolina. Everybody knows Scott. Scott's a very vocal player, probably a fan favorite. He's one of those guys that produces a lot of energy for your football team. He played at Greater Atlanta Christian up in Atlanta. He's from Dunwoody, Georgia. He's one of those guys that suffered a lot of injuries last year and has played very well for us this year, made a lot of big catches. Jeff Jones, we signed him out of West Hills Community College up in Michigan. He's from Saginaw, Michigan. Up there has been a huge factor for us in the secondary and also special team play. Cameo Holloway. Cameo's been a great running back for us for the past 3 years. He's kind of an unsung guy. He makes a lot of holes and makes a lot of blocks for a lot of good running backs that have played here. Got his good share of touchdowns, plays very well. Is great receiver out of the backfield. He's from Dodge County. played at Dodge County. Bubba Boatwright is a guy that's been here for 6 years, suffered an injury. We got a medical red shirt out of him. He's from Buford, Georgia, played at Gainesville High School up there. Boy, what a great football player he's been at that defensive end position. And then this guy is one we're going to hugely miss. He's made several big kicks for us throughout his career, is Jack Fulford from Waycross, Georgia. Jack has won a lot of football games from us from the punting position. You don't normally say that about a punter, but he really has. Number 37, Evan Gillis, another running back. He's from North Gwinnett High School up in Sewanee, Georgia. He's been another one of those guys that's played with Cameo in the backfield, scored a lot of touchdowns on passes. Really good receiver out of the backfield. Really excited to have him be here for 4 years. Timon Hudson is a defensive end, played at Rome, Georgia. Played at Rome High School from Rome, Georgia. Again, he's had a great senior year. He's been one of those guys that's constantly put pressure on the quarterback throughout the year. And then a local boy, Japri Miles, number 38, our linebacker from Quitman, Georgia, played over at Brooks County. He's another one of those guys that just every week that guy shows up to play, and he's always in the stats making tackles. And our last one, the quarterback, unfortunately, went out early in the year this year, but was having a good year so far. Austin Roberts, he's from Lake Butler, Florida, played down at Union County High School. Great leader, team leader, voted captain of our football team, and that's our 12 seniors. A lot of them, like you said, 6 of them have been here for 4 or 5 years. Some other guys that have transferred in, but great group of kids. We're going to miss them sorely, but they're going to go out here hopefully with a huge victory against North Alabama.
We were talking briefly, I'll let you comment, 12 seniors, and all of them played integral parts of this football team over the years. Like say Cameo and Evan, they knew their role. They did their role. They didn't complain. They just wanted to play football. But I'm sure as a coach, it's nice to have those kind of players around you.
Well, it is, and they're a very unselfish bunch. This group of seniors has been a very unselfish group. A lot of these guys, like you say, I think I said 6 of them, but there's 7 of them that have been here for 4 or 5 years that they waited their time. They were all part of the football team as backups, and now they're starting as juniors and seniors, but making huge impacts as juniors and seniors. And that's what you got to do to build a program. You got to have those guys that come up through, and then you got to splatter the guys in like Larry Bryant and Harrison Dreiling, the Jeff Jones, the Trey Hernans, those type guys that come in and fill some holes that you really need. But this is a special group of seniors. They deserve to have an opportunity to play in the playoffs. So hopefully the rest of the guys that are a part of our football team will really play hard, practice hard, and get ready to play a great football game, and send these seniors off as not only as champions, but give them an opportunity to get in the playoffs to become champions.
Well said, Coach. Appreciate it very much. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the region rankings and discuss the scenarios there if we can. Back in a moment with more of that. All right, Coach, we're going to take a look at the region rankings since we don't have any scores to talk about as yet. Valdosta State dropped to number 6 in the region. We actually, a little bit surprised we stayed at 6.
I was very happy with that. I thought we would drop to about 8, maybe 9. But the reason that we're doing that is because of our strength of schedule. We have an extremely tough schedule this year, and the guys who are voting recognize that and recognize the good work that our kids are putting in to having that tough schedule.
Well, we mentioned 6 of the top 10 teams. We played 5 of them already. We've got North Alabama down the road here, but that is an amazingly tough schedule. But just take a quick look at Delta State. Of course, they're the dominant number 1 ranked team. Mars Hill, a new name to be up that high in the region rankings.
Well, they are. Delta State plays West Alabama, who's number 3 in the region right now. So, even if West Alabama beats Delta will probably drop to maybe 2 or 3, and then West Alabama will jump up there ahead of them, and then Mars Hill will move to 1 should they win their game this weekend. North Alabama plays West Georgia. They're number 4 in the region right now. I fully expect them to beat West Georgia. I don't think West Georgia can carry that momentum and that excitement that they had 2 weeks in a row to go to Florence and beat them. Then North Greenville plays Wingate, which is a common opponent that we have. So hopefully we're looking for Wingate, hopefully maybe to upset North Greenville, help us to move up. Of course, we're off. We don't have any game this week. Albany State, who's right behind us at number 7, plays Fort Valley to end their season this year. I expect that they will probably beat Fort Valley, and they're going to move up into that top 6. The big key right now is what's going to happen with the Delta State-West Alabama game. For us as Blazer football fans and coaches and players, we're looking for Delta State to beat West Alabama. I know that's kind of crazy to say, but we need Delta State to beat West Alabama because when you go head-to-head, we're better than West Alabama because we beat them, so we would move ahead of them in the polls, and I think they would still stay in the polls somehow or another. But again, everything depends on how we do against North Alabama next week.
And Coach, you don't want to be in that number 6 spot, especially if Albany State is out of the 6th spot, because they're going to move into that 6th spot at least. So it's happened to some good teams in the past where they've been kicked out of the playoffs.
Well, the whole thing is with us still playing North Alabama, we're going to move out. So that earned access is not going to affect anybody unless, for whatever reason, Albany State loses to Fort Valley. Then maybe Morehouse would get an earned access. But either North Alabama or ourselves is going to move out of the top 6, and Albany's going to move in there. There's still a lot of things that could take place. It's going to be huge this weekend to find out what those top 10 teams do. The bottom line for us is we've got to beat North Alabama. We beat North Alabama. We're in. We just don't know where. We don't know where we'll be going, where we'll be ranked, but we'll be in there.
All right, Coach, we've done a great job of confusing everybody watching TV and watching this show. Now, this is the region ranking again going into the weekend series. That new one will come out on Monday, and it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Coach Dean and I will be back in just a moment with the Langdale Honda Kia Look Ahead.
Valdosta, Georgia. It's all you need. With innovative minds that feed a thriving business environment, all with access to international contacts. And a university influence with championship teams. It's premier healthcare and a community that's metropolitan yet inviting. Valdosta, Georgia. All you need.
This is the Langdale Honda Kia Look Ahead, and Coach Dean, we're played North Alabama many times. First time we've ever played them last game of the season. This game probably has more significance than any game because the winner makes the playoffs. The loser more than likely is out of the playoffs.
Well, they are. And this is probably one of the biggest games we've played in a long time just because of the magnitude of what could take place. Like you say, this is basically the first round of the playoffs for those two teams. Whoever wins is in, and whoever loses is out. It's a huge game. The big thing that I told our football team is you can't play it this week. So keep your emotions in check, and let's work to a crescendo. When we get to Saturday at 2:00, then we unleash our adrenaline and our excitement and get out there and hopefully play a very good football game.
Coach, after the disappointing loss to West Georgia, I know your team was down, the coaches are down, but Monday afternoon when you saw this news, did that get everybody's spirits back up there pretty good?
It did. Everybody kind of re-energized everybody. Of course, we were excited about getting an opportunity to play North Alabama, and we felt like if we beat North Alabama, if they were in the top 6, that they might jump us back up in there. But with us being at number 6, we know now that if we beat them, we have that opportunity to advance on and go in the playoffs. It's like I told our football team yesterday, you look at the Packers, they made it as a wild card last year as the number 6 seed. They went on to win the Super Bowl. You look at the Cardinals this year, they barely made it in on the last game of the season and the Atlanta Braves lost, and they won the World Series. So it can be done. We got to win, we get in, and you're one of the 24 where anything can happen.
And Coach, they've 2 losses. They've lost to Delta State and they've lost to West Alabama. Going into the season, they were again the invincible football team. But they've proven they've got weaknesses just like everybody. And you've got really almost 2 weeks, I guess, to get ready for them, which I know Coach Terry Bowden hates, which makes me feel really good, actually.
Right. Well, it's the same thing. They got to understand the same way that us is everybody gets excited to play North Alabama. Everybody gets excited to play Valdosta State. and sometimes they don't come ready to play, and they end up getting a loss. But they're a very good football team. They will get up to play us. They'll be excited. There's a lot on the line. We have a lot on the line. They have a lot on the line. It's going to be a heck of a football game. They're a physical football team. We're a physical football team. There's going to be some licks laid out there on Bazemore Hyder Stadium. I can promise you that on Saturday afternoon.
Well, we hope so. Hopes it turns out good for the Blazers. And again, want to thank everyone for tuning in for this special edition of the David Dean Show. And really, I'm going to encourage you to come out on November the 12th. Kickoff is 2 o'clock, the final regular season game against probably our most bitter rival in Division II football, the University of North Alabama, with all kinds of implications with the playoffs. So come out, bring your family, bring friends, have a big tailgate, and create a tremendous Division II football atmosphere at Bazemore Hyder Stadium on November the 12th at 2 o'clock. For the head coach, David Dean, I'm Dick Rocky. Have a great week.